And so, we have a God who is able. That's the first thing that I get from this particular passage, that our God is able. The second thing I get from it is a little more on the negative side, and that is this. Even though God be able, we're often in the way. Even though God's able, we're often the ones in the way. That's why he says this line, be still and know that I'm God. It's actually a command of God that says, chill out. It is the idea, in fact, it's a twin command to not panic. It's a command to not overreact. It's a command to recognize that you're not in charge. It's the idea that he's the authority, he's the sovereign one, and we are to be still. It literally means to take your hands off. Now that's tough for people like me and American citizens around the world. We want to put our hands around it. We want to fix it. We want to do something. We want to somehow get through it. We want to get over it. And it's not just the C virus, which seems to be our theme. It's any situation that you find yourself in. Maybe your marriage is on the rocks, or relationship troubles, or maybe a child that's ill, or maybe a cancer situation, or maybe it's an economic thing. We've got people in our own church that have not had a payment from anyone for about 6 weeks. That gets pretty discouraging. Maybe that's your crisis. All I know is whatever crisis you're in, God initially will tell you, get your hands off of it. Give it to me. We're used to our schedules. We're used to our ways. We're used to our timing. We're used to our lives. And even in Christianity, we have turned this thing into something that is about us rather than about him. Let me say that again. Christianity has turned itself into something that's about us and not about him. As preachers, even some that you watch, it's always about what you get out of it, what God's going to give you, what he's going to hand you if you'll do something. It's always about developing a better inside of you, a better this. They'll give you 12 steps for a better marriage. They'll give you 10 steps to raise your children. I'm not against good teaching, but I'll tell you the truth. Eventually, somewhere along the way, in any kind of crisis, you're going to have to take your hands off and trust a God who is able to take care of things. Take your hands off of it. Be still and know that I'm the Lord.